The Mandalorian is back with season 3 finally coming out, well, dropping the first episode. At least this is by far one of my most anticipated shows of the year and, of course, of all time because I love both the first two seasons. I finished rewatching them last night at 3 a.m. and then today watching it. This video will come out tomorrow, but I'm a huge fan of the show. Obviously, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. No question about that. I think that one's obvious. I got the Star Wars poster here, which if you've watched my channel for a while, you would know it was basically in the background of every single one of my videos. I got this awesome glow-in-the-dark Mando Funko Pop here, and this Grogu one that sit beside my desk here, which actually sit on top of some the original trilogy Star Wars VHSs, and then my R2-D2, which holds all my movie tickets. Like, I love Star Wars, and I also love The Mandalorian. I think season 1 is excellent. I think season 2 is even better, in my opinion. So, of course, I was really excited for season 3. But instead of just doing a regular review, I wanted to do something different. So in this video, I'm going to rank every single season opener. So that is the first episode in every single season. So it's chapter 1, chapter 9, and chapter 17, or season 1, episode 1, season 2, episode 1, season 3, episode 1, because, you know, that's all we've got so far. I will review the entire season of season 3 when it finishes. You can check out my videos, I think, of season 2 that I reviewed, like short ones of every single one back in 2020, but they're probably not that good. But anyway, I was super excited for this. This review will contain no spoilers, although I will talk a little bit about the most recent episode that's come out, so I recommend not watching this until you've seen it, just so that you go in without knowing anything. But anyway, coming in third place is season 3, episode 1. Still a great episode, and there is a reason why I said third place and not last place. It's just the way I said it, because I still think this episode's great. The only thing with The Mandalorian is that the first episodes of each season typically are pretty amazing, and some of them that I'll talk about later on are some of my favorites of the entire show. So I really enjoyed this episode. I think it very well sets up everything for the future of this season while also addressing everything that happened, you know, Mandalorian season 2 and Book of Boba Fett with our characters and reuniting some of them, which obviously happened in Book of Boba Fett. And it's an episode that really makes me excited for the future of the show, as I said, which is really what I wanted here. But still, there's a lot of great stuff we see here. There's one scene, it involves water, I'll say, a big group of people and water, which is something we haven't seen in the show before, surprisingly. It's something that happens, what they're doing in that scene, and I thought it was great that we finally got to see that. But still, we have some awesome space stuff, especially with, you know, Mando and Grogu in the new ship, and just the way Mando goes around, or Din, whatever you want to call him, just hides around and pops out to shoot this. I mean, it's awesome. That pirate fight scene was so great, and the way that they address a certain character I thought was quite hilarious, considering what happened. Obviously, was that like 2.5 years ago, I think, just over 2 years ago now. And of course, this show looks amazing. That's one thing that I've always loved, is that season 1 looks really good, but season 2, there's a clear improvement in, I guess, just how it looks. It could be the cameras, color grading especially. Everything looks more clean, which goes with the season, but this continues that. I thought it looked great. It was super exciting. It wasn't my favorite one. It was a little too short, and I think that's why it ranks lower than the other ones, and the other ones have like super memorable moments, as I mentioned. But still, season 3, episode 1, or chapter 17, the apostate, that's the word, is awesome. Coming in number 2, we have season 1, episode 1, The Mandalorian, obviously properly titled here. This episode is so incredible, and watching it again a few days ago, because yes, I binged the first 2 seasons in a few days. I spent all of yesterday watching season 2. I forget if I said that, but watching it again, I just remember why I fell in love with the show the first time I saw it, and why everybody did. That first action scene is just so perfectly edited. I think this show has some of the best action editing of the past decade, for sure, of the probably since the past 20-30 years. I mean, the action editing is so clear and cut, and the way they use shaky cam on stuff throughout the entire show, I mean, it's just so good. And even within the first episode, we are quickly introduced to the character and the incredible music that is, of course, shown throughout the entire show, and the ending of it being so iconic and creating such a big thing of Baby Yoda. I mean, the internet and everybody calling him that, even though it's not his name. It's never addressed in the show. It was a pretty big deal when it came out. I will never forget watching it. I really love this episode. There are so many memorable moments, memorable characters, which come back, of course, later on in the show, and just so many quotes here that you just think of right away. You really get a feel for Mando's character and some of the ones that surround him and how this whole part of the Star Wars universe works. It's a deeper dive into this. I really love it, but coming in at number 1 is Season 2, Episode 1, or Chapter 9, The Marshal. I will never forget the feeling when those boxes at the top and bottom of the screen spread and we went into full IMAX mode at that incredible action scene, one of the best of the entire series, with the sandworm dragon thing. I forget exactly what it's called, which is bad because I watched it yesterday, but still, that sequence is so brilliantly shot. I love the way that they edit it. Of course, that's one thing. This is one of my favorite things about the show, is the editing is so good, but also you have to give so much credit to the different filmmakers behind it, because there's so many that direct all different episodes. The fact that they have to make someone who looks like this, I should do this, show emotion just with that. I mean, that's insane. And the way they're able to portray that here, I love how they introduce newer characters and how it kind of shows what Mando feels about some of the other ones when they wear the armor that they're not supposed to, and it really shows his devotion, at least in this episode, to the whole religion or the creed of the Mandalorians. I just think this episode is absolutely brilliant. This one easily takes the top spot alone for the last 20 minutes or whatever it is. Obviously, this one is much longer than Season 3, at least the first episode of it, so that's what kind of gives it a little bit of the boost, but so many memorable moments. Easily one of my favorite episodes of the show, but I really love all these episodes. I thought this would be a more fun idea than just quickly talking about episode 1 of Season 3. I mean, I'll probably post shorts for all the other ones. I'm not doing this for every single episode, although that'd kind of be cool, but I don't have the time for that. But I want to know your ranking. Which one is your favorite? I feel like Season 2 will be a lot of people's, or Chapter 9, I really should say, but I'm really excited for the rest of the show. The Mandalorian is probably one of my favorite shows of all time. It means a lot to me. It is such an inspirational show. It's just so good. As a Star Wars fan that I am, it's the number 4 in the ranking after the original trilogy. It's just that good, which isn't that much of an unpopular opinion. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Over and out.